Welcome into another episode of the Young Entrepreneurs Network podcast. This one I'm incredibly excited for a few reasons, one of which is that Chris has been a client of mine for the last year and a half. When I say this guy is vibes, when I say this guy is going to make you laugh, it's going to be an episode that's always going to provide you with a journey, an immense amount of value. You know, someone that's in an industry that we've actually not had on before, so there's going to be a different outlook on business. But also, Chris is an absolute fucking joker, mate. You've been a dream to work with, mate. It's been absolutely immense.
Thank you, brother.
When I knew I could get you on, we just had our event, YNL event, literally yesterday.
Amazing.
It was like, bro, we need to get this booked in Sunday morning. Chris has been up since 3, or been out since 3 last night.
Yeah, done a 3 a.m. Finish last night. 3:30, let's say.
We're here at 11 o'clock. So, yeah. Committed to the cause, mate, to the least.
I'm committed.
But if anyone doesn't know you, bro, what like, do you want to give them a little rundown?
Okay, so you probably would know me as Christopher Dean or the alias London Ivy. So I was doing music for maybe 12 to 13, 14 years, I'd say. And songwriting, obviously doing my own rap. It was rap music mainly. Pop music. I've been writing all types of music since like 13, 14 years old. I was kind of roped into it by like the older lot in my area. So I didn't actually want to do music, never wanted to do music. Always enjoyed listening to it, but there was a few older guys in the area and they wanted to form some sort of group with the young boys, and they were like, yeah, you and you're rapping. So I was like, okay, let's do this. And then like literally the name and everything was almost given to us, the names and stuff that we was using at the time. So my first music name was actually Shy of a Kid. It's a really funny name.
Where did that originate from?
Literally, I have no idea where they got this from, but I think there's a god called Shiva. Okay. And it's like a god of destroyer, like the god of destroying, I think, something like that along the lines. And the boys were just like, yeah, that's your name now. Like they were like, write a lyric. I wrote a lyric, and then they were like, yeah, you destroyed that. That's your name now.
Fails.
Yeah, so like it was even the same with, there's a producer called Wizzy Wow, big producer from Tottenham as well, and even him, same thing, he got his name given to, like we all just got our names kind of given to us, and from there on, it was just go time.
That's mad, bro. That's absolutely mental. And obviously you're in that, you said what, 12, 13 years?
Yeah, 13 years, yeah, I'd say 13 years of, it was more rapping at the start, like, you know, the whole DVDs, pirate radio stations, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then kind of made the transition into songwriting after a while.
And who were some of the people that, like, because you've been boys with a lot of artists that have fucking smashed it at the park, man. Who were some of the people that you came up with?
We came up with a group called Combination Camp at the time, and it was people like Wretch 32, myself, Wizzy Wow, a guy called Weston Calabar as well. So there was quite a few of us. It was quite a big collective, but of two different age groups kind of thing, just merging together, and we just go around and just take over everyone's like pirate radio sets. We just go around literally different areas and they called it mobbing the sets at the time. Right. So you would just go there unannounced and like take the microphone, and you would take their viewers almost. So you take their listeners and you'd go around to all these different stations and then build your name that way. Yeah. And we were just really good at that.
Bro, that's cool as fuck, you know, mobbing the set. That used to run back
that's
up.
That's what we used to call it, mobbing the set. It would be great if they still kind of had pirate radio now, because I think that vibe was just so authentic. Like we won't get that back again, I don't think. Yeah,
because I guess it's like for example, we were doing an episode and an episode starts and someone was in my place and they're like taking things over, and it was let's say Andy could be a good example, and Andy could just, you think you're going to get me, then Andy spawns in. That could be like, that could take the viewer so by surprise, and it could be fucking sick, bro, to be fair.
That is true, like literally, yeah. So like if it was in here right now, it would just be like Andy and Jack just coming out of nowhere, like, and then just taking the microphones like, hi, I'm Jack, I'm Andy, and this is what we're doing today. And it's like, we'd just be there like, okay, are we going to get the mic back? Like literally, crazy.
And how long were those usually for? Like when you were like mobbing a set, what was it, like an hour or a few minutes?
They would people would usually get 2-hour slots. So you'd get a 2-hour slot, each group or artist would get a 2-hour slot, and we'd kind of come in maybe 30 minutes into their set, so they'd warm up the set and they'd just be getting into it, and then before you know it, we just come through this back door. Like we just come through the back door, like poor promoters and like owners, because they were just like, there was only like literally one owner, I'd say. There was a guy called Chris J that owned Heat FM, a massive radio station in North London at the time. He was probably the only one that could kind of control the mobbing of sets. big guy, big dude, bald head. You didn't want it with him, so you just like, you know what? You'd ask him instead, like, can we mob this set? And if he was up, like, if he was okay with it, he'd be like, yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
Like, he'd be like, pay us subs. Like, he'd still make us pay the subs for it. So he'd make like double money on that person's set. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So he wasn't taking any shit, bro, at all. I guess, like, in terms of your music industry as a whole, your time in the music industry, how would you summarise it?
Ooh, how would I summarise the time in the music industry? It was exciting, because I think I was at the early stage of music, of course, like really early stage. So that was like of the UK industry of what it is today.
Yeah.
Like it's now, obviously, like there's platinum artists, there's people selling across like all over the world now. But back then it was really small and kept in one place like London, I'd say. So it was exciting because we knew that there was a future coming for this industry, and we knew that we was like helping towards paving that way. And I would say it was also a bit cutthroat. Not bit, it was very cutthroat. I'm lying. It was very cutthroat. It was awful. Like in terms of that side of things, it's like friendships and stuff can get like it's ruined in the music industry. And I think it kind of, there's a lot of crabs in a bucket mentality where it's like, oh, I think I can make it first, or that person can make it first. So people would kind of block people from opportunities and stuff like that. And then when you'd find out, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, that's supposed to be my friend, man. Like, God damn it, man. It's cut me deep. So yeah, it was one of the, it was a little bit of a head fuck, I'd say. Bit of a head fuck. And I think going through all of that, especially really young, I think it did definitely kind of affect who I am today. Like, it definitely affected it was a, yeah, it really done a toll, I think, in terms of maybe the paranoia and things like that. Like so it was.
I think it's the trust part, right? It's like if you've grown up in an environment where trust is hard to come by, good people are hard to come by, then of course, like as time goes on, because I know like when we started working together in it was like you weren't exactly coming to me with a lot of stuff purely because not because you didn't trust me, it was just because that was always your way of dealing with things. But now you had a support network, you had people around you that cared about you, wanted to see you succeed, and it was something that, like, I think it was the first in-person event we spoke about it over. I think it was Sugo, went for some food. Shock there, anyone that follows my Instagram, Sugo. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we spoke about it there, man, because it was like, if you've went 30 odd years as a whole, like that kind of environment for you, and then finding people that are actually good people that want the best for you, it's quite a shock, man.
It was like, I thought you was lying. I was like, this is too good to be true. There is no way that there's like any kind of network I've been part of, it's always been a bit like, I mean, there's always going to be a few guys that always want to make it first or want to be the top boys or whatnot. So joining this, I was quite apprehensive at first. I remember I was saying I'm a bit of a lone wolf, like I don't really... Because the music industry kind of done that to me. Like after the group stuff and the songwriting camps and all that stuff, I kind of just ended up going off by myself and doing my own thing. And I was just so used to that. So used to it.
Yeah, which makes a lot of sense, man. I think a lot of people end up like experiencing that growing up. And then, because you see it a lot, it's like, because people struggle to trust in the past, like you said, it's like someone will give a hand out and your first thought will be like, well, if I take that hand, I need to give them something back. Or...
the hand, I'm like, I don't know about that. Like literally, I was like, I'm not sure. But then, obviously, but what I did do is I'd done my due diligence on you guys. Like, I went through kind of everything I could see, and I'm like, I don't see no mistakes here. Like they're not. There's no slip up. So I'm like, okay, let's give this a go. I
used to have a good cope, man. Like when I used to still do when I was coming into business, obviously it was because I was a new face. It was like, it is going to be a struggle to trust me. I've not been around for years, so like there's nothing really behind me. I was still streaming at the time, and I was like, bro, I stream for 5 to 10 hours a day. I can't fake that. Like I literally come in, watch my stream, man, for a couple hours. If you really care that much, like to anyone, I would always say that. Like if you're genuinely worried about it, like streaming is something that you just can't fake it. I think that helped with authenticity as well, man, because I definitely, like I was definitely not like, I think growing up in the kind of school environment, which you would experience within the music space, it's like there is you're wanting to show up in a certain way to be liked, you're wanting to show up in a certain way to be around the right, in your eyes, the right people, maybe the most popular people. And the streaming side of things, very much like you can't fake it for that long. You
I
can't
can imagine,
fake it
yeah,
for that many
because there's
hours.
a camera on you constantly, so you can't mess up that. Yeah.
Which is mad, bro. But I always think back to like for any extra context, we actually used to take sales calls or strategy calls, me and Andy together.
Jeez.
It was a duel, bro.
Did you have a system for that?
It wasn't systemized back then, I don't think, bro. But me and Andy took a call with Chris. And bro, I've never seen Andy react after a call, bro. Pierce stood up, he was like, mate, we need to sign this guy. This guy is the most vibey, like awesome guy. Because obviously you're in like the recruitment space, we're building, which we'll get into the business stuff soon, guys, don't worry.
We will.
We're obviously building what you're building at the moment, mate. And I think it's something that, it's super interesting, mate, because you've juggled so much. But I guess like from the music side of things and transition into business, what are some of the things that you've taken from the music industry that's really helped you in the kind of business space?
I think a lot of things. The one thing I noticed actually when I started kind of doing the first year of FitlessTime, and I started like doing all the research parts of stuff, and like going through all these different companies, how they work, etc. The one thing I noticed, it's a numbers game. So it was very similar to music, and it was still very clicky.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is like, I thought I left one industry and like got away from that, and it's kind of back into it. But I just believe that anything that has numbers like that, it would always be like this. Like there's a lot of things that's gate kept from people. So those are the similarities I noticed straight away. Like I was like, what the like, okay, so you can't get noticed unless you have these type of numbers here. But it's exactly the same with music. Like you won't even get seen if you're not streaming a certain amount of numbers, or if your YouTube views ain't like popping basically there, then they won't even look at you. So I think those are the two things. And then obviously the same with name, like where you come from or who you are. So if you're somebody that's kind of affiliated with someone already, that's massive, and they're kind of taking you under the wing, you're good. And it was the same in this tech industry. Like if you come out of a good company or you've kind of been taken under the wing by someone, you're good. But people like me that start from scratch, it's a long journey. Yeah. A long journey.
What do those first couple of months look like?
First couple of months was, to be fair, the first couple of months was really exciting because it's a new thing. So I was there like, oh my God, this, and oh my God, there's so much money in that. And oh my God, like, oh, this looks so cool. And these people are building this. And like, I got really, like I was sucked in at one point. And especially like when I first come into the tech space, like the AI started booming as well. Yeah. It started booming, and then it just kind of consumed me. I started looking at every company, what they're doing, how they're doing it. And it really intrigued me. Yeah. So I think the first 3 months was like, yay, like I was like a kid in a candy shop, like, oh my God, this is great, this is great. But then I think even maybe the first 6 months, then after a while, it starts getting harder when you start realizing the amount of stuff that you need to do to build this. And nobody taught me business administration or anything like that. Like music is a little bit different. Like you kind of, you get your royalties sorted and stuff, but there's loads of people to help you with that. Yeah. Your friends can help you with that. But in this space, it's like you're asking, like you got to reach out maybe to get someone to help you with it or whatnot, because I had no clue. Yeah,
it kind of reminds me of like the football space, like the music in the football space. Like the football space is like, when I speak to Gino, when you're at a top club, like he's at Swansea just now, he's got everything he needs. Yeah. Like it's almost like getting given to him before he even needs to ask for it. Whereas when he was on like League 2 and stuff like that, bro, there was no financial advisors there. There was nobody giving a fuck about how much pay you're making, like because they think that you're making none. They don't give a fuck about the boot deals, all that sort of stuff. So it's interesting, bro. And I guess like the question I have is like, how did you then even break into the space then if you didn't have any experience prior?
I'm a determined brother. That's one thing I'd give myself. One thing I'd give myself is I am a determined motherfucker. So if somebody says I can't, or tells me, oh, that's a bit long for you, Chris, because that's what most people were saying. Like, why the fuck are you doing tech, bro? Like, you're a music boy. Like, you're an artist. You write music, bro. Like, you tech, what? Like, the most tech you're doing is Logic. And I don't even know if you're that great at that, bro. Like, so, because you're not an engineer. So, like, and I don't know. It was, I'm not even sure really. Like, I think it's just a determination really. And I was just kind of, like, once I have my eyes set on something, like I knew FitlessTime was a great idea. Yeah. It was a brilliant idea. And I just thought, if I can get this out, I know it would be great. I just know it's going to help a lot of people. So I think that, with that thought in the mind, I just kind of have been going to steam training it since.
Yeah. Do you want to tell like the viewers, if they've not seen FitlessTime before, like what the actual tech is.
Okay, so FitlessTime is it's going to be an app that kind of it's based around saving you time in the gym.
Yep.
So essentially, you would come in with a workout. Well, what happened to me? I'll tell you exactly how I kind of came up with the idea. So I was working obviously 9 to 5s, doing my own thing on the side, whatnot. But when I tried to go gym, it would be during the busy periods.
Yep.
And I'm somebody that gets kind of like really frustrated if I've got, I'm very routinal. And if I can't get the routine done, it really messes with my psyche, man. I'm just like all over the place. And I remember walking into a Pure gym in Victoria, and I came down the stairs, and it was like the floor's down there, and I looked, and I was like, what the fuck is this, man? I was like, there's not one place I can actually do anything here. I was like, what the fuck? But I'm looking at the time, and I'm like, I've got to be somewhere, but I don't want to, like, I'm here now, so I've got to do something.
Yep.
So I started walking around, and I'm looking, I'm like, fuck, man, this is long. So I was like, why isn't there kind of something that can show you like alternatives in the gym to work out the same body parts, but just in different parts of the gym, or using different types of equipment? Because just previously before that, I had a personal trainer also that was like, he's like one of the Mr. England guys.
Yep.
And he was just a wizard with the gym. Like, he was teaching me things that I didn't even know was possible to do with the machines. So, but when I got to that gym at the time in Victoria, I couldn't remember everything. So I started kind of like having a bit of a, like, just like, it was proper head fuck. And I'm like, shit, what do I do? Done a like 20-minute workout, left fuming. Absolutely fuming. I turned to my friend and I was like, I can't, this can't happen. So I started downloading apps, downloading all these fitness apps. Can anything help me with timing and stuff like that? And there was nothing. It was just like workouts, how to exercise, how to do it, what's the best exercises. And I'm like, no, this isn't, it's good, but I'd have to go through everything to kind of find the alternative, which kind of defeats the object of me trying to save my time or get in and get out within that time. So I think that's kind of how the concept came about. Then I started speaking to a lot of people about that problem, like people in my workspaces, people in the gyms, and they'd have the same complaints, but everybody's kind of just getting on with it, which is a pretty British thing to do. Like, we just keep calm, carry on. You know? Like, it's fucked, it's fine. Like, that's how we are here. So I was like, no, but I'm someone that, I don't like that stuff. I like to solve problems. I hate when there's a problem and everyone just says, well, you know, Chris, it's not much we can really do about it here. There is something. There's always something. So I think that from there was like, it sparked kind of the fire in me, and I was like, let's do this. And that's how kind of how FitlessTime came about.
I love it, bro, because it's something that, like, I've recently just mapped out my new routine going into Q2 with Conor Malone, because it was something that gym wise, like, I was so locked in, especially with events coming up. Things were lacking, man. Even like the fun like football, like a lot of the stuff that I was just working just all the time. And I made some amazing progression in the last year in Spain. Like, being in Spain, mate, and going out of my apartment into a lift to go down to -1 level and have a full gym. That was to myself, bro, because you'd book it out for an hour slot, and as long as me and Bex were making sure that we were booking it ahead of everyone else, which it was no problem, mate. The fucking hack, it felt like a life hack. That's what it felt like. But interesting enough, like, when I wasn't using that gym and I was going across to the gym, which was like a few minute walk down the street, it was kind of like an old kind of Arnold gym. It was really cool, man. Really cool gym, but it was fucking packing, and they didn't open early. So it was 8 a.m. was the earliest it opened, and it also wasn't open late.
Okay.
So you're going there and it's packed all the time.
It's squeezing everybody in one place. It's terrible.
It was peak, and it was one of those where, obviously, having Bex, the gym in the hotel wasn't great, and the apartment block wasn't great, but we had enough knowledge, we could do enough HIIT classes that made it like fine. It was cool. But even now, like, when I mapped out my routine with Conor, I've deliberately mapped out my sessions where it's either super early in the morning or it's a midday split. Because there's nobody there.
Yes.
Like, that's literally it. Because the problem is, it gets to the evening time, if I've not been in gym, I'm like, if I'm going between 5 and 8, it's long, bro.
Lord God Jesus. Better be prepared. Get your handbag out, because it's crazy in that during those time periods. It's long. You can't do it. I ended up doing the same thing as you, so I started going like 7 in the morning just before my shift, or start going like really late at night.
Yeah.
Like right after the shift, I'll do a few things and then go.
But then you're refeeding, and then you're having to refeed afterwards, and your sleep's fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I'm finished.
yeah.
Like I'm really energized now. Going home, it's fucking 11, 12 o'clock, and I can't sleep. I'm just buzzing now. So it was. I totally understand that. Like that is literally the reason why we did this. And unless you have a residential gym or something like that where you can kind of go during them little quiet periods, it's really difficult. It's really, or if you've got a job that kind of tailors around that, like if you're someone that kind of has your own business or whatnot, or you're a PT in general or whatnot, you can kind of like, I'm always jealous of the PTs because I'm like, you guys have always got the pump. Y'all always got the pump because I know you lot in the mornings before your sessions, you know what I'm saying? So always got the pump, guys. I see you. So yeah, I was always kind of like, oh man, I should just become a PT. Just start working in the gym, and that way I could always be in the gym and work. But then I was like, nah, no, I don't really want to. Don't do that. Yeah. So.
But I can see I can see the need for it, bro, because it's like to give I guess like a visualization for the viewers, because obviously I've been working with you on it. Chris will let you go up to say like a pair of like cables, and buy the software within the tech, which is so fucking cool. He'll just pull the camera up, and then he'll say, you know, I want to work my chest, it will give you all the exercises that you can do with videos of how to do them. That's so fucking sick, mate. Yeah,
just take a picture of that. Sometimes you don't even need to say anything. You can literally just go up to the machine, take a picture of the machine, and it will tell you the full use case of that machine, what it is, and all the different exercises you can do with it.
Yeah.
And it just helps. Yeah, it really does help.
Yeah, that's fucking sick, man.
Yeah,
that's sick.
Some time training that.
Yeah, I can imagine. I guess like the kind of AI side of things, mate, because I think that's something that probably scares quite a lot of people. Quite a lot of people are leaning out of it because of the fact that they're scared. But there's people, I think, like within the network. I got a text from fucking Nick Garrett this morning. He was like, mate, the AI software we've got in place is nuts.
Yes,
like absolutely fucking nuts.
The things it could do.
Anyone who doesn't understand it or is like, if you got any thoughts on it, anything to inspire them to want to actually understand it, involved with it, get into their business?
Well, first and foremost, I think I would say roll with it or get rolled over. You're going to need to. It's just how it, unfortunately, kind of how it is. I guess it's the same with kind of anything like that, like cash to cards and all these different things like that change. It just changes, like life changes, and you have to kind of just roll with it. So that's first and foremost. Don't be scared. Don't bury your head in the sand. Like try and learn as much as you can about it. And I'd say the second thing is, it's not doom and gloom. We're not nowhere near that yet. Everybody kind of makes out, oh, we're so close to AGI and blah, blah, blah. We're not near that yet. So I don't think and I think even by the time we get by them, we should be okay enough to kind of sort something out by then. I don't think it's going to be Terminator, basically. So I think people kind of need to calm down on that whole flex there. But I think also the tools that it kind of allows, like you can, not that obviously the hiring thing and the people in jobs and stuff like that, I get it. It's a bit of a techie situation, but you can actually have agents that do a lot of the jobs for you, or even the jobs that you would be doing kind of times 5 yourself. You could just get rid of that and have the agents kind of doing that for you. So
there's because Nick was saying to me yesterday, so one of the software he's using for the appointment setting side of things for his clients, they have been trying the hardest to break it, so that like through just testing it, just like proper ad hoc. And Alan was saying to me yesterday alongside Nick that he was saying things like he was saying, so like one of the companies is like a loft boarding company, so they have to go into the loft, right? Okay. And Alan responded, there was like one of the questions was like, what is the height of the loft? And he was like, well, it's 5.5 foot and a half, or like 5.5 foot and a half, and I'm only saying that because I'm actually 5.5 foot, and that extra half is what I do to comfort myself. The AI replied laughing. It was like laughing faces. If that's the case, then I'd probably just get 5.5. So just like disregarding the extra half joke. And I was like, mate, there's no way anyone knows that that's an AI, nor does it even matter, because it's like they're getting almost like that human connection. Yes. And I was like, mate, that is blowing my fucking mind.
So this is the thing with the AI, like where we're really ahead of at the moment is like the chatbot stuff, like and automation and stuff like that. I think that is where we've been accelerating at. But in terms of like maybe the other stuff that people are worried about, we're not nowhere near there yet. So, but obviously, for these type of kind of jobs and stuff like that, like you know, speaking as a chat, like them little customer service agents and stuff like that that you'd usually hire in fucking Philippines somewhere. Yeah, that's not happening no more because it's this now.
Yeah, I think it's mad, bro, because I think I had to go into fucking Stripe, bro. Stripe holding payments and stuff, mate. Bollock. Had to go into Stripe bot, and it's like one of them was like making jokes back and forth, and I thought, this is fucking class, man. I've actually got a good
guy there,
like guy or gal like, on the other side. This is class. It's not pure robotic. And then when I was speaking to Alan yesterday, I thought that's probably just a fucking bot as well, and you wouldn't even know.
More than likely.
Which is mad, bro. So I guess like one of the things I wanted to touch on earlier on was like we kind of just brushed over it and ended up talking about the tech side of things. Like when I started consuming a lot of Formose's content, and he'd done a podcast with Andy Frisella, and he was speaking about how people at the bottom are all like fighting for scraps. So as a result, they're all fighting for themselves, but people at the top are all helping each other. And it's something that has continued to stay at the forefront of my mind, mate. And it's something that like you very much since coming in to the group, just being around other people, you've been willing to help and do anything that you can for others. Where does that stem from?
Definitely from, I've always been one of them people that always want to help. Like I'm quite a empathetic person, I'd say. I'm very emotional, and I always feel people's pains and feel people's problems and stuff like that. So if somebody tells me a problem, it's really annoying, but I proper adopt, like I take it on, and then I'm like, I can help you. Like, I'll try and help you. I'll always try my best to. I think seeing people happy, smile, and like getting that feeling inside of them, I think that does something for me. I don't know what it is. Honestly, I have no idea what it is, but it does something for me. So I think it probably stems from like childhood, I'd say. Like I had a bit of a rocky childhood growing up, like really dark one growing up. So I think I always wanted to be helped. Like I was always kind of begging for someone to help me. Like praying to God, like please get someone, God, please, like get someone to help. I need help. But I think it comes from that. It's like do to others what you would like done to you. So if somebody needs help, I'm always kind of there. Like there's a funny story. When I was a kid, this is how much I want to help people, by the way. When I was a kid, I grew up in a really crappy estate, really bad estate. A lot of like drug users, a lot of prostitution, a lot of that stuff. And I'd be sitting in my room about maybe 9 p.m. at night, 8 p.m. at night, and I'd hear screaming, like from outside, like a woman screaming or something like that. And it's kind of regular around my area. And I'd run out there, bro. I'd run out there and look for the woman and try and help her, bro. And if I'd see like any guys like kind of, that I'd be there fighting the guys, bro, for this woman that's like a prostitute, and she's, like calling for help or whatnot. I have no connections to her, I don't know her at all, but I'd be there kind of fighting the guys for her, and then be like, you okay? You all right? Yeah, go home, that kind of thing, and just go back home. My mum used to be like, bro, what is wrong with you, Chris? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you can get hurt, like, but I can't sit there and listen to that without doing something about it. And it got to the point where, like foxes scream. Foxes scream as well. They make kind of, it's really a similar sound. Like it's really weird. It's a mad sound that they make. So sometimes I'd go out there and there'll be foxes. And I'd be like, oh, for fuck's sake, guys. Guys, come on, man. I'm trying to be in the superhero here, man. What the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? So it was crazy. So I think I've just always wanted to help people to the extreme, or if it's something little. I just want to help, always want to help.
It's mad that you say about the lack of it growing up. I'm reading the values factor just now. Basically helps you understand the kind of the values that you hold very close to you. And one of the biggest things I've taken from the book is that a lot of our values stem from voids of not having it growing up. So just everything you're saying, mate, just is reaffirmed. It's reaffirming to me like the book side of things. Because it's mad, bro.
It definitely shapes you. Your childhood definitely shapes you, man. It's like that part where you're a sponge and you just take everything in, and it's really hard to kind of undo a lot of the stuff, because I've had to undo a lot of things from my childhood, of like the way I think, the way I am. Kind of, I'm a very emotional guy, but the emotion that comes with sometimes the bad emotions as well, such as anger, and then I can get sometimes really uptight and angry about things. Like when I was young, I was a bit of a loose cannon. Like if somebody had said something to me that I didn't like, I'd never let them live it down. Never let them live it down. Like I would eat, and if I did, I would go sleep thinking about it, kind of thing. So I think a lot of things stem from childhood, and whether it's good or bad, I think you just got to try and figure it out and see where it comes from. That's one thing I'm good at, is kind of, if I see an issue or problem with myself, I would actually sit down and be like, where does this come from? Like, what the fuck is this? Why do you feel this way, Chris? Like, what is going on? And I'd kind of track back. Where does this come from? Where's this come from?
Yep.
And then I kind of find the spots and be like, okay, there's nothing we can do to change that right now. Like, that's how it's happened. But what can we do to move on from this?
Yeah. Because the question I was going to ask was like, how did you overcome it? Like that.
I still feel like it's a work in process, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely not something I've fully overcome straight away. Like, there's moments where I still have those days where I'm like, fucking, like, dark days, bro. And I'm like, fuck the world, bro. Just destroy this shit. Press the button, that kind of thing. But at this, like, I think it's more important, like, but who do you want to be?
Yeah.
Like, who do you want to be? And I want to be someone great.
Yeah.
And to be someone great, you're going to have to overcome these things. No one's going to do it for you. So I think for me, it's always been a working process in terms of like, no one's helping you, Chris. Just remember what you want to be. Remember who you want to be. Remember where the goal is. Forget about all of this stuff. Just like, I'm very like, just go kind of thing. So that has always helped me kind of sway back into the right lane.
Yeah, I completely agree, mate. I think it's something as well, it's easy to like be influenced in a way of just doing what everyone else is doing. Yeah. Especially if everyone else is just like you said, adopting, like for example in your neighbourhood, it's like when you're growing up, if nobody's helping, then you helping makes you look fucking insane.
Yeah, you look like a weirdo, bro. Yeah. Can't lie.
And then you're then not rewarded, but instead negatively reinforced for doing it. And then you can see how that could actually massively shape you growing up as well, thinking, oh, you know what, man, like, people shouldn't get help, or people shouldn't be helped, or I shouldn't be helped. Like, it's fucking
like, don't get me wrong, there's days where I'm like every few bloody months or whatnot, I'd get those days where I'm like, I'm not helping anyone, man. Fuck this shit, man. Like, what the fuck, man? I don't get no help. I'm like, and I'm on one. But it's funny because like a lot of the people close to me, they're like, Chris, that's not who you are. Stop acting. Stop pretending, boy. Like, it's not who you are, bro. Stop it. So and I'm like, no, I don't care. I'm gonna change. I don't care. And then like when I wake up, I'm like, yeah, Chris, relax. It's not who you are. You're going to just do the same thing again tomorrow. That's fine. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it's mad, bro. Well, I guess like, do you want to kind of walk us through the journey of the start of the kind of tech side of things? We kind of touched on a bit of that already. I know you've been through some serious trials and tribulations with that shit, bro. So we need to dissect some of those.
Mate. Yeah, that's another thing, because when you're new to a space, you've got to learn sometimes the hard way of how to do things. And again, maybe some of it was partially my fault as well, because I didn't reach out to lots of people, because I'm so used to just hearing no, or like just being aired, or, you know, blanked or whatnot. So I'm just like, I'm not even doing that. I'm just going to research myself. Google is king. I'm gonna go through Google and I'm gonna kind of thing, and I'm searching everything. But I think, again, administration, no one teaches you that. Like, they don't really teach you that in school. So there was always something. Like, I've incorporated a company, then there's something else, and I've done this, and there's something else, and there's something else, and every week I'm getting a letter or an email about something else you have to do, and I'm like, fuck it, no, boy, like, is this even worth it, mate? Like, fuck, you know. And then like, there's that side of things that I've kind of had to get my head around, but that's fine. Like, you know, it's everything's there kind of to read and see, but it's more of the dev side of things. I've been fucked over, bro, like differently. Like, I think, obviously, remember, I just work a normal 9 to 5, bro. So all of my money kind of goes into this shit. Like, I go to like responsibilities, and then this, like, my quality of life is terrible because it just goes to this stuff, which hurts because, you know, you put your trust in people, you know, you give your money to people, and then they just give you a shit product. And they're like, yeah, man, I could do this and I can do that, I can do this. And bearing in mind, I'm not a developer. I like coding, minimal coding. So, and at that time, I didn't know nothing. I just about knew the languages and what languages does what, and etc., and what we can use them for. But that was like that's like the bottom of the bottom in terms of development world. So devs could basically speak to me and I'd be like, oh yeah. Like, it's sounding good to me because I don't know no better. So I'm like, yeah, man, let's do this. A month would go by, 2 months would go by, and I'm putting my money into this stuff and there's no product, or I've just been delivered a shitty MVP, and I'm like, fuck's sake, got to start again, all over again. So I think I started this, like, I've done this about 3-4 times over with different devs, and they've all been like awful up until kind of now. So.
And the one that you've got now, you feel like is fitting the bill for what you need.
Big up Rob, man. He's the guy. So I've got, and I had another guy called Ash as well that had kind of taken me under the wing. That was introduced from another friend, and he really liked me, I think. He liked the idea, and he kind of was helping. He helped me build a website version of it and all sorts, and it was really good. And didn't charge me too much, bless his cotton socks. But and then kind of from there stopped charging me and was just like, yeah, I like you and I like the idea. I'm going to help you work on this, but at kind of my time, because he's obviously busy guy. Yeah. So between him and my new CTO Rob, it's in safe hands now. Yeah. And I can see they're actually making progress. They're actually doing things. So it's like, yeah, I'm good now. I'm happy. Yeah. So I can kind of leave that in their hands. And it's all good. But the other guys, yeah, man, fuck you know.
What was the lessons of those guys? Like, what do you feel like you were? Obviously, you feel like you were lacking the knowledge, but was there anything besides lacking the knowledge that you feel like you could have done better? And that sort of thing?
Yeah, reached out. Definitely reached out to people. Like it's mad because like my brother, it's one of my younger brothers. Like he's a dev and he works for Football Manager. So it's like. I could have even reached out a bit more to him.
Yeah, Football Manager's sick as well, bro. I love Football Manager, mate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. The guy even made himself in the game. It's crazy. Like, crazy. Like, so, yeah, I think I could have reached out to people more and got more advice. But, yeah, I think, again, just being from that mentality, like that environment from beforehand and the music environment and stuff like that, I just wasn't used to reaching out to people. And I should have done that earlier, to be fair. Yeah.
And I guess like I'm almost like trying to bring out my empath in myself and work out like see when you are getting delivered, so you get these expectations set, right? And so obviously everyone probably knows the equation, like the whole happiness equals expectations minus reality, right? You're getting your expectations set at ridiculously high. Every time they were coming to you with something that was shocking and did not meet the expectations, bro. What was walk us through like the
fuming, bro. Like literally, like I'm like, I've spent my fucking hard-earned money on this, man. I could have done so many other things, like, and you've just given me this piece of shit product. Like I know you haven't really worked hard on this. Like, so the good thing about this though is I started learning the process of development, and I started learning kind of maybe how things could be done quicker or how things could be done more efficiently. These guys just wasn't doing it that way. So yeah, I think that I was just, it was just a fuming process first, and then it's like, okay, what do I do next? What's the next steps, Chris? Like, how can I better this? Like, just give me send me the Postman files, bro. Send me everything. I'm going to move on and I'm going to find another dev and we're going to work on with the scraps I got, little tiny scraps I got, we're going to work on from there. Probably the best thing about it is the whole design of the application is by myself. So a lot of the basics was by me anyway. Yep. So I kept that stuff and it was kind of easy to just move on from there. But yeah, the process was, it's difficult. It's difficult when you spend, like I said, when you spend your own money, like your hard earned work money, like literally you get paid and it goes straight out to these people and they just, fuck around with it, piss your fucking shit up the wall. Yeah. Like I think, it's more of a angry first, what to do next, move on kind of thing.
Yeah, Joe blows my mind the most of that shit though. It's like you see it a lot in the business space. We spoke about it at the event yesterday. Like when you're crafting an offer that you're taking to the market and you set an expectation for your consumer, your ideal client, and you don't meet that ideal client's like expectations, do you even deserve the money anyways?
Bro, you tell me. I mean, if it was me, I would be like, I'm so sorry, like I can't do this, and I'd refund you back. Like literally, just take the money back. Let's like keep it on as good terms as we possibly can and move on. But yeah, nowadays they don't deserve it. No.
And that's what blows my fucking mind, bit, to be honest. But the two things I've got, obviously spoke about the emotion side of things, the managing of your emotions in those moments, because I definitely relate, bro. Like definitely growing up, I had an environment where I was used to probably seeing like a bit of like knee-jerk responses of like angry responses to things probably growing up, And I've definitely noticed like something I've developed as I've grown older is like my knee-jerk response is usually angry or frustrated. And I will struggle, I will have to
Woosa!
Big time.
Woosa! Like, that's literally
and just try my hardest to make sure that because the thing is, it's like I know that it's going to pass. I think that's the biggest lesson I've taken from any of the stuff that I've worked on from that side of things. I know that it's going to, because I remember I had a session, I think it was one of the higher level group sessions, and someone, I can't remember, I don't know if it was Jude or if it was Lawrence, but they were like, when it comes to one of the calmest people I know, it's John. And I was thinking, I was like, I can't be right, bro.
Really?
I was like, oh, really? I was like, holy shit. And I remember it hitting me right, but that's from a development basis of actually getting to a stage where people can even notice it. But even still, that little knee-jerk response is difficult at times. So I'm curious from when these developers are bringing this stuff to you, like how are you even handling it?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Thank God, luckily, we're not in person most of the time when it's handed over to me. So it's like, maybe it's a bit harder sometimes because if it's in person, they could see how I feel about it. Like they could feel it and they'll be like, maybe I shouldn't fuck this guy over. But when it's not in person, like I'm just like, I'm fuming, bro. I can't lie to you, man. I'm fuming, man. I can't, like, bro. Like I said, I've still got some of that in me as well. Like when I get angry, it's really bad. Like I can turn a whole room dread. I can't lie. Like I've been told this by a lot of my friends and peers and family. Like when you're in a bad mood, bro, like you can fuck the whole shebang up. Like I remember I used to work in a supermarket, and during canteen, like if something went wrong during the shift, I'd roll into the canteen, like just come into the canteen and people would just go silent. The whole canteen, like there could be 50, 30 people in there, silence. And then everybody's like tiptoeing around what to say to me. And I can't lie to you, bro, like it bothered me even more. Because I'm like, why is everybody doing this? Like, what the fuck? Like kind of thing. So I do have that first thing is kind of, unfortunately, it's like, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off, man. But recently I've been really good at dousing the fire way quicker than beforehand. Like before I could let this last for ages. Like it could turn over days and shit. But now it's kind of like, all right, cool, keep it moving. Like think of a fucking way out of this and just keep keep going. Yeah,
which is awesome, bro. Besides the development journey, I guess, as a whole, like working with devs and stuff like that, what are some of the other things that you've had to learn? Like what are some of the other things that played a huge role?
Everything, bro. Everything. Just how the tech industry works, how applications work. I've had to learn the markets. I've had to learn, it's because it's obviously two different things. I'm learning about the application market and I'm learning about the fitness market. So I think, it's been a mad journey of just so much information over the past couple of years. It's just taking in so much, like even in terms of how companies kind of work. Like I had no idea. I just thought, you have a product, you sell it. Shit, doesn't do well. If it's good, does well. Like I didn't look into things. And I think that's how most people see things, because when you're doing something and you put you're trying to put something out there, like, well, if you just got to do is make it, right? Like you just got to make the product, and if it's good, it's good. Like, and I'm like, no, it's not. There's so much more to it. So it's all kind of learning the whole marketing side of things. Like it's a bit different from music. They have similarities, don't get me wrong, but I think that's learning that. Then there's learning obviously the tech stacks. There's learning the different code, different languages that we can use, what the languages are used for. Whether we're doing this on iOS, Android, like what's the benefits of that? Like it's just been, I wouldn't say that there was nothing I knew beforehand, put it that way. So everything that I've kind of got today, I've learned in the last couple of years, I'd say.
Mad. What have been some of the market similarities of music and?
I'd say at the end of the day, you have a product, right? And you need to make sure that this product kind of gets through to people that is the right audience. So those are the two kind of, I think that's a big similarity. Like you need to find your right audience. And it's the same with music. Like you can't, sell reggae music to jazz people, or like, what I mean, or pop music to this people or whatever. So I think you've got to target the right audience, and that's the same thing with this tech world, with this applications or SaaS or whatever it is. You've got to target the right audience, and I think those two things I've taken and just been like, all right, cool, at least I know this.
Yeah.
Like I know how to do this part here.
Yeah.
And that's kind of helped a lot, really, I'd say.
And your target audience as a whole, like what's the conclusion you've came to with it?
Active, busy people, man.
Yeah.
Active people like myself and that are just busy individuals and that are time poor, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the people I'm going for at the moment.
I would agree, bro. Because it's like, I think everyone, it's an interesting one, mate, because I think when you're in the business space, you have very much the control over your calendar if you're running your own business as such. It's also something where people aren't, I'll happily get up early to go to the gym to ensure that I don't go in the evenings. But it is also something where like shit happens, bro. Things come up, and you don't have a choice but to go in the evening. And I think if I had something like this, I'd be way more inclined to go, because you said something about when you're in the gym, you'll have a very regimented routine.
Yeah,
but I feel that, bro. See if I've just done some dumbbell press, I got into some cables, mate. And see if all the cables are taken, mate, I'll sit there, bro, and wait until the cables are free.
I'll tell you a story, bro. Like, so one time I was in a Pure gym there in the city, and there was this guy, and he was like, when I came down the stairs, he was on the bench press.
Yeah.
And like, this was a chest day, and chest day I start on bench press. I never like to start anywhere else but bench press. So after warm up, I'm going straight to bench press. I love bench press.
Yeah.
So I'm coming up, but there's only one fucking bench in this whole gym. So I've come down. I thought, let me take a little while to get changed and stuff like that. He should be finished by the time I get there.
Yeah.
Got there, this guy's still on there. So I'm like, should I just do a dumbbell press? And I'm like, nah, fuck it. I want to do this bench press because I want to, like, I'm trying to hit PBs and stuff like that. So I've asked him, mate, how long have you got? He ignored me at first. I'm like, okay. Turned to my brother and I'm like, okay, if this one's ignoring me, but excuse me, how long have you got left? And he's like, a while. So I'm like, a while? Like, how many sets is that? And he's just like, a while. And I'm like, excuse me? I said, okay, yeah. There was a dip assist machine right next to the bench. Yeah. Brother, I sat down. It was so intense. I sat down right on that dip assist machine. I was just watching him. This whole set, I was like, it's breathing really heavy. Like, yeah, I hope you can see me in the corner of your eyes, bro. I'm here, bro, yeah. You wanted an audience? I'm gonna give it to you, bro. So I'm like there, just like, and then he's there like, doing his little bench press. And I feel like he was there was no way you had that many sets, because I could see now by the last set, he's like, the man's struggling, bro. And I'm like, nah, I know you wasn't supposed to do this, but fuck it, I'm gonna still sit here. Bro, 15, 20 minutes of my time is gone. Yeah. But it's the principle now, bro. You're taking the piss. So I'm just like, no, fuck this. I'm sitting here and I'm going to watch you. So I'm watching him. And he's finally got up about 15 minutes later to like 18 minutes later. And I'm like, finally, I can jump on the bench press. But that's my thing. Like, I'm not having it, bro. Like, I'm not having it. Like, if I want to do the bench press, I'm doing the bench press. But it shouldn't really be like that in general. Like, you shouldn't have to wait for these type of things.
It shouldn't be one bench.
Exactly. For one, it shouldn't be one bench in general. But even with that being said, like, yeah, it shouldn't be like that kind of waiting process in general. Like, obviously, I should have just jumped on and done the dumbbells, but I think it was the way he answered me. That was the reason why I had to sit there very intensely. I was piercing through his soul, bro. Like, it was fucking jokes, bruv. Like, my friends in the corner.
I was going to ask, what did your friends do?
They're like in the cable machines, like literally just watching, like, like, you're really doing this, Chris? I'm really doing this, bruh. I'm really doing this. So it's definitely a pet peeve of mine that I just want to solve for as many people as I can, to be fair. I
can imagine like the video on your like landing page of like downloading this app is just you talking about that exact experience, bro. Because I know for a fact, man, like there was even just recently, I was literally just in the gym last week, there was a guy and I went up and had a chat with him, mate, because his physique was crazy. Turns out he was like he'd won like the Arnold competition. Like, this guy's physique was fucking nuts. And I went up to him, I literally just said, like, look, man, I've got nothing to say to you apart from the fact that your physique is crazy. Like, if you got an Instagram, I'd like to follow your socials, whatever. It was really awesome guy to chat to, literally a couple of minutes. But just before that, he was on the pec deck, and he was supersetting the pec deck with some sort of like dumbbell press or something along those lines, but he had to be on just a normal bench. And and he's obviously got his bag at the pec deck. Guy comes over, disregards the bag, right? Sits down in the pec deck, starts banging out sets in the pec deck, right? But he's going like one side each, so like if anyone's listening on Spotify, I'm trying to do a demonstration of it, right? But he's doing one side each of his arms.
Motherfucker.
So he's like rotating each side, right? And the fucking humongous guy comes back and he's like, I was using this, bro. And he's like, yeah, no worries, man. I'll just bang out this set. And he's like, yeah, that's fine, man. Like, I'm doing a rest. I'm resting anyways.
Okay, yeah.
Bro, this guy, right? You'd think like, cool, one arm's done, other arm done, get up.
Yeah.
Brother, he repeated it 4 times on each arm, 8 sets in total. And the guy is like looking at him, and when I went up and spoke to the guy afterwards, he was like, he was 26 days out from his comp.
Okay.
So it's probably the most intense it's going to be. He pretty much needs this to be rolling pretty fucking smoothly. And I also know from Bex wanting to compete, like when she was getting like photo shoot ready, mate, Bex is dusting like 1.1k calories a day while doing 2 hours of cardio, while doing a fucking huge gym sesh. That brother is going to be starving.
Yes.
He's going to be
He's fucking Marvin right now, bro, and he is vexed, you know what I mean? Yeah, I get
this
it.
guy's just banging it, and it's like, stuff like that's happening all the time, man.
All the time. And it's like, it's a sticky one because it's like, okay, look, he's probably got his way of working out and his whole routines and stuff like that, but at the same time, like, there's that little selfish thing comes in, like, hey, I'm here for myself as well, you know? So like, me, myself, though, I've got gym etiquette, by the way.
Yeah.
Learn gym etiquette, people. Please, just fucking learn it. If somebody comes up to me and it's like, oh, can you use it? And I've got like a set left. Bro, I bang that set kind of quicker than I should. Like, I'll be there like, kind of thing. And I'm like, bro, it's all yours kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm clean, all yours, bro. Like, it's good. But like other people are just like, nah, bro, like I'm gonna, like I'm just gonna squeeze every bit of this and make sure that you're waiting. Like, cause you know, it's my time too. Yeah. But yeah, I just say, I feel like having a bit of gym etiquette definitely helps, man. Yeah, just you know, bro, just get up.
Helps big time, bro. Obviously, you've been funding the actual tech, obviously through your own, I guess, like your own hard-earned cash.
Unfortunately,
which not majority of tech companies, at least that I've been exposed to, actually go down that route. What's been the reasoning for it? How come you're not like taking on investment? Like, has there been any reason for that?
It's hard. It's difficult. I think, again, coming from like my space, like where I'm coming from, it's very hard for kind of people to trust you, giving you money if you haven't had like an achievement in that space already, or come from a big, like one of the big 6 or whatever from that kind of industry. It's really difficult for people to be like, yeah, Chris, here you go. Oh, yeah, I believe in your idea, kind of thing. Yeah. So that's also been difficult. That's been difficult getting money from. I tried kind of other avenues as well, but yeah, like my credit history wasn't the greatest, etc. So I wasn't not getting anything like that, which is really annoying because I feel like it's almost like kind of boxes you in, and I feel like a lot of people like myself that want to try things, they just can't. Like if they feel like they can't, there's no way out. Like you can't go to the bank and get money. You can't ask family and friends if your family and friends ain't got money like that. Yeah. Like everybody's kind of fending for themselves. So where's this money coming from? It's gonna have to come from us. Like there's no one else. I tried actually to go around like asking, and I done like that's how I learned the pitch decks thing so fast. Like I was making pitch decks on my first year and sending them out, and people were like, "Yeah, I really love your idea, really like you, but we're not sure." Kind of thing, and that was always kind of the answer. Yeah. So I quickly read, and people were also saying, "Have you funded it yourself yet?" Yeah. Like, so if you ain't funded it yourself, but why am I going to fund you? You know. So I'm like, right, cool, I'll do it myself. Like, and that's kind of the mentality I have anyway. Like, if no one's going to help, cool, fuck it, I do it myself. So that, which is fucking long because it gets really tedious. It's month by month that you're paying little bits and so it takes really long, and then in turn, your family and friends are like, why are you taking so long to do this for? Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, well, if you had money to give me, then maybe it wouldn't have taken this long. Yeah. But yeah, I think definitely funding it myself, there was no other way. There was no other option. No other option.
I think we'll also stay in London too. Like you're fucking, it's not exactly a cheap place to stay.
It's not. Yeah. You breathe and it's a $10.99. You come out your house, $10.99, bro. Like tap. Like it's crazy there. Yeah. It is ridiculous, man. It's so expensive.
How much, if you don't mind me asking, how much cash have you spent on?
So we done a spreadsheet the other day, bro. And I think even we've missed a few bits and bobs, but it came up to just under 17 grand that I've spent out of my own pocket. Wow. And that's on all the different trials and tribulations, branding, all these things, kind of to get it where it is now. Yeah.
Which is mad, bro. Because it's something that like you're literally, majority of service-based businesses don't require anything to start up. Like they really don't, unless they want to fast track the process. Maybe they just exited, like for example we had like Gary Wilson on here, and when he exited his SEO agency, started Let Property, the property sales company, they were running at like 15-20 grand like loss every month to scale at a really fast rate. But that's because like he's been there, he's done it, he knows, and he's got cash, his own cash behind him, and he knows that exactly what he needs to do to get there. Now he's doing fucking multiple 6-figure months, like he's smashing it. But it's something that when you don't have the experience or like in that space, I think it's interesting because if, I guess a question for you, if you were to start over again, what would you do differently, I guess would be the question.
Definitely, I think mainly reach out for help more, because I think I probably would have cut a lot of processes and maybe spent a little less money if I'd reached out to people earlier. I think I had actually, to be fair, I had a mentor, a guy called Dwayne, and he was actually incredible. He was an incredible guy. Like he helped a lot when I first started this, because I was fucking lost. Like I was totally clueless, and he helped me a lot with like the pitch deck side of things, how to get money and stuff like that. But I think even he told me in general, he was like, bro, it's hard. Like it's going to be hard if you're not kind of someone that's kind of done it already. It's going to be difficult. You might have to bootstrap it to get it to a certain point for people to then to believe in you and believe in the product and then do it. So I kind of just took that advice and ran with it, really.
And where is it at just now? If you were like, in terms of like along the journey of like taking it to market, like how far are you away, do you feel like?
I'm a couple of weeks from testing it now with people, actually, like with real people. So I think we're starting testing first or second week of April. Testing in a really incredible place, by the way. Don't want to say it yet. You'll see after, but we're testing with really incredible people, and I'm really happy about that, because the feedback I'm going to get is absolutely, it's going to be so invaluable. Like it's going to be crazy. So I think once we go through a bit of testimonials, I'd say another 3 months, I'd like to say, but in tech, you make a deadline and you hardly ever fucking make it, man. There's always something goes wrong, or there's a little thing to fix or whatnot. So I'd say hopefully around the September times, before when the gym phase starts hitting again, when people start kind of going back after the summer. That's the kind of where I'm looking to maybe send it back into the world.
And what's going to be the plan to market it?
Adverts, bro. There's going to be ads. There's going to be I've got a campaign going on at the moment. So we're going to do a lot of like street interviews. We're doing a lot of it's like a lot of knowledgeable carousels, a lot of social media heavy based marketing. But in terms of like the ad space, like yesterday, incredible session, by the way, guys. But that's something I need to jump into because I think that's going to really help. And being a creative, that's my bag. So I think that is going to be a key, like a key thing in this whole getting it out to people. Like it's because I'm trying to make this thing more than just an app. Like FitlessTime, it's going to be a brand. It's going to be a feel. It's going to be a feeling. Like when you use this, like how I use Waze. Like that's kind of how I got the idea as well from the Waze app. I used to, when I'm driving, I'd put in the address to things I knew already. But just for alternatives to see if I can get there quicker. And if I'd got there quicker than Waze told me, it was like an addiction, bro. It hit me differently, bro. So that feeling and that kind of vibe I'm trying to create with this application, really. So,
what is the Waze app if someone's not used it?
It's a sat navigation app. Made I think a little while ago. It was acquired, I think, by Google. I think if I'm not. I think it was Google. I think they acquired it, or someone acquired it not too long ago. But sat-nav app, put it in the place where you want to go. It gives you shitloads of alternatives, like way better than Apple Maps or Google Maps or whatnot. It actually shows you shortcuts, and it's a crowdsourced app. So people build it for you. So if there's road closures, they tell you you're the one. And I love that, because it makes the people feel like they're part of the app.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of was like, oh, I like this model here, and I'm gonna kind of do something with this. Yeah, so.
Nice, bro. I love it. One of the things we'll see on the ads front, I don't know if anyone knows this because we got exposed to it just from actually doing it itself. Like, see, like awareness ads on Facebook, Instagram, like through Meta. It's ridiculous, like how cheap it is to run awareness ads. Like, it's something that spoken about quite a lot. I spoke about it a lot with Nick and some other individuals. Like, having top of funnel awareness ads, like, bro, you're spending like, for example, our last campaign. So we'll have awareness ads running, and then we'll have like direct to offer running. And then we now have like a lead magnet running, which is like email lists, webinars, like stuff that we're wanting to do, right? So it's like top, middle, and bottom of funnel stuff. Like, but anything that's bottom of funnel, if you're paying for like leads, essentially you're going to be paying way more for the impressions on leads because it's of who it's getting served to. There'll be other components as well. Awareness ads at the top, like that's really top of funnel stuff and really broad. You're paying, like, for example, last campaign we would have spent like what, 75 quid and got 130,000 impressions.
Decent, man. Okay.
So like, whereas to compare that to like direct to offer leads, you would be paying about, like last campaign would have spent about what, 500, 600 quid on like maybe like 50 to 60,000 impressions. So £75 for 130k compared to that for that. So it's something that's always, whenever I'm thinking about anyone that's wanting to get something out there, get eyeballs on it, like, guys, you'd also be so surprised about how many people that you've seen their Instagrams and their socials and you think, oh my god, they've grown so well organically. Like, they'll just have the awareness ads just running in the background, man, just generating traffic constantly. So yeah, definitely worth. That's definitely going to be,
I think, my bag, definitely. Especially awareness ads, because again, I'm a creative, and like even the ideas I have for the ads already, like they're gonna be fucking phenomenal, bro. Like I'm gonna bring that whole music production element into this kind of, into this advertising space. Like I used to help direct my own videos, write my own videos, scripts, etc. So this is something I can't wait to do. Like I think I know it's going to do well. Like I know it's going to do well in terms of this stuff. And another thing, it's not like my face or me kind of always going to be behind it as well. So I just think it's going to go off, man. It's going to be great.
I've always been curious because you've kind of dabbled in the personal brand space, but like it's always been kind of like not off and on, but it's like
apprehensive.
Is that something that you're wanting to do more of? Then,
definitely, 100%. I think it's more I was a bit afraid of like, am I ever going to get a product? Like after you spend so much money kind of going through the trials and tribulations, I'm like, shit, am I even going to get a product? So if I started mouthing off on bloody LinkedIn, I'm going to be the best MVP in the world, man, and all that stuff, and then nothing's coming, it's like, it's a bit meh, you know what I mean? So I think having something or knowing that I have that product there, it will kind of give my chest that extra boost that I need to kind of to start speaking about things. But at the time I was like, well, I feel like a fraud. Like I'm speaking, but I don't have anything yet, you know? So even though I should be kind of creating awareness, but I felt like I was creating awareness forever, bro. Like I was like, you're aware now? You aware now? You aware now? But everyone's like, yeah, I'm aware, but where the fuck is the app? You know what I mean? So I kind of started, all right, let me scale back a little bit. I think that was a personal choice. Let me just scale back a little bit, because maybe if it was me watching me, like I would be like, where is the app then? Like, I would start asking that question, and it's just miffy, man.
I've seen it a lot with like, I don't know if Andy spoke about it when he was on our episode, but definitely spoke about it within YNL. Obviously Andy was quite obsessed with the kind of crypto NFT like space, and we were both invested in an app called Vivi, which had a lot of cool shit. They had a lot of licenses with the likes of Marvel, DC, Disney. Like it was one of the first proper like NFTs, like in that kind of first proper companies in that NFT space that actually had proper licenses. They went about it the right way. They weren't just selling mental shit, right? And it boomed, bro. Like we made quite a lot of money through it. Andy had fucking smashed it. Andy had so much knowledge. I was learning so much from him. But honestly, man, like their app went quite heavily downhill. Like, bro, I'm talking like you'd be holding. I remember I had an R2D2 gold plated. It was like Disney. There's only like, I think it was maybe like 1,000, 2,000 minted. So only one of the 2,000 in the world that you could get your hands on this, right?
Had one
Charizard
card, bro.
some sort of shit like that, bro. I had a really low mint version as well. And I remember at one point, bro, it was something like 18k that you could sell as an NFT for, right? And when I say I can't, like, got, like, I made my money back and more. There was absolutely no qualms. Fucking awesome platform. Really enjoyed it. Still got quite a lot in there as well just now. Still got the R2D2 in there, bro, just chilling.
Please, come on.
But it was something that they just kept promising the world, man, and just never delivering, mate. Like, they had so many things that, like, every month it was like, this is coming, or we're having an announcement, this is coming, and people just get sick of it, man.
This is the thing, like, so this is a question I'd like to ask you, like, what does that make you feel when that happens, like, about the actual company or brand?
I think when you've got money involved in it, the emotions are just heightened tenfold, because you're believing in something enough to have your cash in it. I think the trust just starts to drop off. I think, like, one or two things going wrong, life happens, man, like the world happens in general, but if they're not learning from it, then it's like, is that a company I'd want to be invested in quite heavily? Probably not there or thereabout. And it's funny I say that because I've still got the R2, but these sort of things
R2D2's like, excuse me?
These sort of things are in there, but I've took majority of any cash that I really had out of there, and just kind of left a couple of things that, because I believe in the concept, and I know that it's in a downturn just now, and I believe if they get their shit together, that it will boom again. I believe again. So it's one of those where, from my experience, trust just started to drop, and I started selling things one by one, and I was just like, cool, you're not delivering that, I'm pulling this out, and it was like, right, cool, I'm going to pull my cash out and more, like 5-6x worth of my cash, pulled it out, and I was like, anything else that's in there, like, die by the sword type shit, just let it run. Cool. Because for the longest time as well, they didn't have cash withdrawals, so it was like you'd put your cash in as gems, but like for every gem equaled $1, so it was literally just like their own currency essentially in the actual app. But for the longest time, they didn't have cash withdrawals. So the biggest thing, right, was that when cash withdrawals come in, the market's going to take a bit of a dip, and it's going to boom because people can actually trade their cash in and out. But even like that took fucking way longer than it should have. They were over promising. There's people going through beta tests, and then people are getting it, now people aren't getting it. Then it's like communities clashing
now. Of course.
I think to answer your question honestly, it's when it continues to happen. So like, for example, they had like 3 big different things that were coming out. Cash withdrawals, one of them was called the Master Collectors Program, which is like a reward system, kind of what you touched on earlier on. So the more you collected, the higher you were on the Master Collectors Program, and then you would get first dibs on drops. It's almost like, if you imagine like sneaker drops coming round, if you're on the Master Collectors Program, you're getting anything you want whenever you want, right? Whereas on VV it was like, bro, I used to sit beside my router, mate. I remember I think it was Andy bought an Ethernet cable on his phone. Like,
what the fuck?
This was like, it was like an adapter, right? There was shit where it was like, to get on a drop, it was like 4 p.m. every like couple of days you'd get a drop. And see, when I got the R2D2 as well, bro, oh my god, top of Utopia, mate. I was running around the room, it was crazy. So that sort of, like, when that sort of thing was happening, the Master Collectors program was meant to be coming out, bro, that was delayed like a year, man. Like, not even like a few months there. It was like a solid year, and by the time it rolled out, like, the drops weren't even selling out anymore because there wasn't enough people on the app. Whereas at the time where the drops were rolling, you'd be talking like a drop would come like R2D to a few thousand, but there would be millions try to get this few thousand. So to get one, it's crazy. Like, absolutely
like a
crazy.
fucking Usher ticket.
Mission. Absolute fucking mission. So then the Master Collector program rolls out, and it's drops aren't even selling out. So it's like, what's the point of actually pursuing this anymore? And it just kind of dropped off. So I think the repeatable things are coming out and not meeting deadlines, you just kind of get sick of it.
You do. I mean, me saying it gets like, I get sick of it. Like, like, I would do it, like, I would write a post and I'm like, nah, like, I'm just finish writing it and I'm like, nah, it's not here. Like, what the fuck? Put this back. Take this back. So honestly, I had to scale myself back. I felt like I did anyway. I probably could have spoke about other things, definitely. But
you've got a lot of value to bring, bro. Even like just sort of talking through the pod, like, I think even just your journey within the tech space, I think people would vibe and take a lot of value from that, because it's not spoken about, bro. Tech, when I think about the tech space, it's just people behind the screen, You don't really get to actually know them in that space. Like, there's only a handful of individuals that have done it. Like, I think people get a lot of value from actually knowing all of this shit that you've done, and actually the lessons, because there's going to be a lot of people that want to go into the space, they have a cool idea, but they have no idea what it's going to actually take to make it happen.
It's a shame, man, because I feel like a lot of people have, like, a lot of regulars have some real great ideas, and like myself, but it's just, it feels like there's just no way to do it. Like, do you know, I speak to some people like from my area and stuff like that when we talk about doing this thing, and you know, they say to me like, you can't, they actually say that that's not for us. Like, you can't do that. Like, we can't, how do you even get to the people that do this stuff? Like, we can't do that, Chris. Like, you're mad, bro. Like, if you just do something else, bro. Like, so the fact that that is in people's minds, I'm like, no, I need to break this shit, man. Fuck that. No, there's no way. Like, we can. Like, why is it not for us? Why? Like, just because we like, anyone can learn, bro. Like, can you speak? Yeah. Did you learn how to speak, bro? You can learn this too, bro. Like, just go for it. Like, try it. But I get it. Like, a lot of people don't have that mentality where it's like, okay, I'm gonna go gun hope for this thing, and I'm gonna keep going despite all the knockbacks, etc. Like, people hardly do well with a knockback in life in general. So, like, when it's something like extracurriculum and you're getting knockbacks and that, and you're like, well, fuck this shit. Like, because you gotta remember, we still have our normal days, right? Like, we still have our, you know, our partners and our family members and all that stuff. You're having a normal day, you might get some knockbacks in from life. Then you got this extracurriculum thing, like slap in the back of your head as well, and you're just like, bro, can't catch a break, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, should I just fuck this over? Like, but then at the same time, I'm like, nah, because I'm on this mission, and I'm going to. It's more. I think it's like now proving to myself as well, deep down. Like, it's a competition within myself. Like, can you do this? Yeah. And I don't like being told no. Yeah. I was told no a lot when I was a kid, bro. Fucking everything was no. Like, before I'd even finish the sentence, no. like they used to take pleasure out of saying no. Like, they'd be like, wait. No. Like, it was like that. So I just hate that word in general. I fucking hate, like, being told, nah, you can't do that. Yeah. So, I was just like, fuck this shit. I'm going to prove to everybody, like, all those people that are in my area and my family members and stuff, I'm going to prove to them that you can do something, and you can at least fucking give it a go. Like, it might not be fucking Google, bruv, or whatnot, like, but at the same, if I can just get it out and it's doing okay, like, I've proved it already. Like, I proved that I can do it. Yep. And then we can go from there, right? So,
100%. What's the, because I don't know if you've been noticing, we've been going for an hour and 15, bro.
I swear to God. No way. Oh my God. I feel like I've got so much to say as well.
I know, crazy. Bro. We'll have to do a part 2, mate.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
But in terms of, like, what the plans are from like here on out, obviously you've got the next couple of weeks people to roll out to people to actually kind of test it. Obviously in September you wanted to actually kind of roll out. What is your, I know you're a bit apprehensive with the expectations and things, but like, what is our, what's your kind of thoughts about, like, that kind of part of the journey? You super excited about it?
Oh, that's the part I'm most excited about. So this is part I've kind of hated. I can't lie, because I feel like my hand's always tied behind my back, and I'm kind of just, or I'm fighting with one hand basically all the time, because I'm not a developer. So I've done everything outside of that I can do. Everything, literally. And like, I've run out of things to do now. Like, we've started the marketing campaign. I've done all of the branding. I've written scripts for the advert. I've done everything I can do, bro. Like, and I'm like, what else should I do? What else should I do? What else should I do? But I can't actually move until the dev's kind of complete. But that's when the fun stuff starts, like getting the testing, the beta testing, speaking to people, the testimonials, adverts. Like, that is people's my bag, bro. You know what I mean? I love people. So I can't wait to just get out there and start, just hitting the ground running. I'm really fucking excited for that shit, man. Yeah, me really too, bro. Excited, bro. I'm really excited. I feel like I've been waiting forever, fam. Like, that's mad.
Yeah, because I think even just this podcast as a whole, like, it's something that I was most excited about, because as everyone knows you within the network, like, being around you, the energy, like, you and Chad, bro. Imagine you and Chad on this episode together, mate. I'd have to just step out, bro.
Just get out, man.
I would just step out.
Chad, sit down.
Literally.
You end up talking so much shit, bro.
Be entertaining, though. Maybe that's a little podcast for the future, mate.
Perhaps so, yeah. Chad and Chris show.
I'd get behind that, bro. I would get behind that. For context, guys, by the way, Chad is like Chris, but just exactly like Chris, bro. To be fair, they're both so similar, man. It's crazy. But Charged in, like, the football space, So a little bit of a different space, but I'll need to get Charge on as well.
Yeah, definitely get him on, bro. He's absolute G.
Yeah,
Charge.
Top stuff, mate. So where, in terms of where people can find you, mate?
So Instagram will be London Ivy Gram, which is the old alias. LinkedIn, Christopher Dean. Everything else is London Ivy, to be fair. Everything else is rather London Ivy Gram or London Ivy, so like Twitter, London Ivy, etc. But the way you really want to be following, is FitlessTime. At FitlessTime for almost everything, basically. Fitless time, not fitness, fitless time, guys. Am I getting that? Yeah? Yeah, FitlessTime. So yeah, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, it's all there, yeah.
And what platforms are you most active on just now?
At the moment, I'd say Insta is popping. Like that's where a lot of our following, that's where a lot of our feedback comes from. A lot of stuff comes from Instagram. Oh, we're on TikTok as well. Sorry, forgot to mention that. Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, brother, thank you so much for coming on, mate. It's been fucking sick. Yeah, if you liked the episode, guys, obviously if you're on YouTube, got episodes rolling out every 2 weeks on YouTube and Spotify. If you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. Let us know what you thought of the episodes. Want more episodes like this, man? Want to diversify the industries. Want to bring on more people in more different spaces, mate, because it's something that like there's going to be so many other young entrepreneurs out there that want to get into spaces like this, but they have no idea what it even looks like. So
yeah, I'm definitely here for that. I'm here for that.
100, bro. We'll need to do a part 2, man, because I know we've got plenty more to talk about, mate. But so yeah, if you're on YouTube, guys, be sure to subscribe. Got episodes rolling out every 2 weeks. If you're on Spotify, leave a review, let me know what you thought. And yeah, have an awesome day, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and thanks again, Chris.